Through every battle, through every heartbreak, through every circumstance, I believe that you are my fortress, you are my portion, you are my hiding place. Yeah. I believe you are the way, the truth is the life. I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe through every blessing, through every promise, through every breath I'd say, I believe that you are provider, you are protector, you are the one I love. I believe you are the way, the truth, the life. I believe you are the way, the truth, the light. I believe you are. Ooh. And it's a new horizon, I'm set on you. When you meet me here today, mercies that are new, and all my fears and doubts, they can all come to, because they can't stay low when I'm here with you. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you. When you meet me here today with mercies that are new, all my fears and doubts, they can all come to, because they can't stay low. But I believe you are the way, the truth, the light. Oh, I believe you are the way, the truth, the light. I believe you are. It's a new horizon, and I'm set on you. When you meet me here today with mercies that are new, all my fears and doubts, they can all come to, because they can't stay low. And I believe you are the way, the truth, the light. I believe you are the way, the truth, the light. Oh, I believe you are. I believe you are. I believe you are.
Hey everyone, it's Pastor James here, giving you your evening motivational encouragement or encouragement. I don't know what we're calling it. I'm sorry. I know I mess that up every single time, and one of these times I will get it, probably when the lockdown is over. But I wanted to come at you guys tonight. It's a beautiful day outside today, and I already went on my run. So sorry, I'm not on my run somewhere. I'm not in a park somewhere. I'm actually in my backyard, and as I was kind of reflecting on what it is that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, I honestly had a blank, not because I lack things to talk about, because I can talk about anything. It's just because I was thinking Man, there's been so many things that have weighed on my heart in the last 3-4 weeks, since this is happening. Everything from people's jobs to people's health, our future, I mean, timing, everything. There's just been so much that has been happening. And so what I did was I just went through my Bible, and I have a physical Bible as well as my virtual Bible, my YouVersion app. And, I will highlight things when God speaks to me at certain times, and other times there's, notes or sticky pads or whatever it is. And so I was going through it, and I stopped in Ephesians. And I love Paul's writings because here's a guy who hated Christianity with everything inside of him. He has a God experience, a Jesus experience, and he becomes one of the most incredible missionaries we have ever known. And so he's writing to the Ephesians in chapter 5, and it says, follow God's example, because in everything that you do, because you are filled with life and filled with love for others, following the example of Christ who loved you and gave himself as a sacrifice. And so I read this, and it reminds me of who we're supposed to be. It reminds me of how we're supposed to act. And he goes on and he talks about all the different things that we do as fools and how we're foolish at one point and sometimes we're not. And so I just, he kind of goes through all of it. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, going through, each one of these things, just because this is weeks worth of sermons right here. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to clue in on verses 14 through 17. And I think this is where I wanted to give you guys some encouragement. And he says, and where your light shines, it will expose their evil deeds. Again, I just set up this verse with all the things that we do as fools, and we act fools, and we disobey, and all these other things. And he says, and where your light shines, it exposes evil deeds. That is why it is said, awake, O sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will give you light. That give you light, in an alternate translation, it can also be translated as shine upon you. Awake, O sleeper, rise up from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. I love that. He's telling us how we should act, and I'm gonna kind of read a couple more verses here in a second. But I've noticed that I've been a lot more intentional in the last few, I'd say, months. I do it off and on throughout, whenever I can, but sometimes, life gets in the way, you get distracted, you're tired, you're busy, whatever it is. And so certain things take a back seat. And one of the things that I've always tried to do is be intentional when I go out. And here's what I mean by that. I like to, when I go shopping or when I go to Home Depot or wherever it is, I just kind of open my eyes to the people around me, because sometimes they just need just the littlest thing. And it could be something as simple as just helping them, find something or whatever it is. And so I was at Walmart, of course. All my stories start with I was at Walmart, because that's where I usually hang out. And I was getting some items back in the cleaning aisles, and we were just getting some Windex and stuff like that. And so I was putting those in my cart, and I'm walking around, and there's this lady, and she's a little bit shorter. She's definitely shorter than me. She's a little bit shorter, and she looks at me and then doesn't say anything. And so I'm thinking, okay, normally people don't make eye contact. And so she's looking at me, and so I'm pushing my cart, and I get a little bit closer, and she looks at me again, and she's just like, it was almost like, do I know him? Do I recognize him? And so I was a little nervous, because I was like, does she know me? Did I say something? Did I cut her off on the way to the parking lot? And you start going through these scenarios, and she goes, can I be a pain? And now I'm like, oh, that's how you want to start a conversation, right? That, and can I be honest? Those are the two things you don't really want to hear, right? And so, can I be a pain right now? And I said, sure. What do you want to, what do you need? And she's like, can you get something for me? I said, sure. What is it that you need? And I'm a little confused right now, because she was a younger woman, like was probably in her early 30s. And so it wasn't like she, couldn't do stuff. And so she's like, can you get something for me? And I said, sure. What would you like for me to get? And she looks up, and she's like, I can't reach that cleaner up there. I thought about climbing up these things, and then with my luck, they would all crash and I'd come crashing down. And so would you mind just grabbing me that cleaner? I would be so helpful. And like the way I'm saying it is how she said it. It was like, it wasn't just a, hey, do me a favor and grab this thing. It was like this overtly dramatized, like, please do this for me. And I was like, absolutely. And so I went over, grabbed it off the shelf. I handed it to her, and she's, I'll stay 6 feet away. I'm like, no, you're okay. And, I give it to her. She grabs it. And I was like, would you like some more? Do you need, anything else on the top shelves while I'm here? And she's like, no, I think I'm okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And she was so thankful that I grabbed this cleaner for her. And it's, again, these little things. It reminded me that we have so many opportunities to influence people. And maybe it's not at the store, maybe it's in your neighborhood, maybe it's, just today I reached out to someone via text, and I just asked how they were doing, and they just said, I'm in a kind of just a crappy place right now, James, and I'm just not in a good place. And I stopped and I prayed for them. It's things like that we can do. And what that does is it leads me to verse 15. This is Paul writing again. So be careful how you live, not as fools, but those who are wise. Again, he just went through this whole section on being wise. Make the most of every opportunity for doing good in these evil days. Don't act thoughtlessly, but try to understand what the Lord wants you to do. And when I was reading through this and I was going through this and I saw this highlight and I was thinking about this lady at Walmart, this was that kind of like amen moment, right? Like, don't be thoughtless. Try to be more intentional as we go out, as we reach out to people. I'm sure there are people in your life right now that you can reach out to. And I tell you this all the time. There's people that you have influence over. We all have influence. And we have an opportunity to be a blessing for various people at all times of the day. I think the key is looking, right? Acting as if God is directing you. You know what Paul was saying, not acting thoughtlessly, but as if God is directing you. And I love that. And I'm trying to do this more and more. And sometimes I miss the mark. I do. There's other times where I'm just going through and I just miss an opportunity. I confess that to you. I do that all the time. And again, it's because sometimes I get narrowly focused on something. But I encourage you, especially in this time right now, as this quarantine kind of gets deeper and deeper, we don't know when it's going to be lifted indefinitely. We hear May 4th. Who knows? If it gets drawn through the end of May and into the summer, then I feel like it's just more and more people are going to find more and more depths of darkness. And I believe that you have the light that Jesus talks about, the light that Jesus can provide for you, and we can shine that light in those dark places. And so my encouragement to you tonight, whenever you're watching this morning, if you're watching it the next day, use an opportunity. Today, God could give you an opportunity. Seize that opportunity. And it doesn't have to be a person to person. Like I said, it could be a text, a Zoom. It could be you write a physical letter. What's that like? And put a stamp on it. I know they're crazy, right? And you drop it in the mailbox because you think of someone. There's so many ways that you can reach out to people. I encourage you to do so today. Thank you guys again, and I will see you guys next time.
you.